you through some hip mobility and lower body movement priming exercises. So come on down to the mat, and we're gonna start with a little self-assessment / warm-up that I like to call the windshield wipers. So we start with our legs nice and wide, about wider than hips distance apart. Heels stay planted on the ground, bringing your hands back behind you, lengthening your shoulders down, nice long spine. And then we're just gonna allow the knees to fall side to side. So don't force your knees down to the floor, just allow them to fall and notice where they're going today. So you might notice that one side goes a little bit lower than the other. You might notice they don't go very far at all. Maybe they go all the way to the ground. And this might be different for you every single day. So this is a really nice place to start to assess your own hip movement and where you're at. This is also a nice little warm-up that you can do if you know you're going to be sitting in an office all day or you're about to drive in a car for a long time. This is a great little movement priming. Okay, so after we've done that, I'm just going to notice where my right leg is falling, and then I'm going to flip myself around into this seated position. So in this position, we could be working for 90-90, so 90 degrees in the front leg, 90 degrees in the back leg. However, this requires a lot of mobility in the hips, so for most people, we're going to want to bring the arch of your front foot towards the knee of your back leg. So we're sitting nice and centered. My sit bone on my back leg is actually lifted up off the ground. I'm going to take a deep breath in. Lengthen my spine up, and I'm going to lengthen my body over into a gentle glute stretch. And then I roll all the way up through my spine. Again, deep breath in to lift. Exhale to lengthen with a long spine. And then when you've gone as far as you can go, you might feel a nice juicy stretch in that glute. You might feel this in the hip or the hamstring. You also might feel this in the hip flexor on the back leg. And roll up. And do that a few times, waving through the movement. Good. And then we can hold this position. So lengthening over that leg, taking deep breaths in and out. And then while you're here, start to explore some new angles. So I'm going to walk my hands over towards my knee, noticing how that feels. And then walk my hands over towards my foot. Notice how that feels. This side definitely feels a little tighter through the back. I'm going to take a moment to breathe there. And come back center. Oh, look at that. I can go a little bit further now. And rolling up through the spine. And then the next part, we're going to add a rotation. So I'm going to walk my hands all the way around, imagining like I'm chasing my tail. So I can look behind and see my toes. So I'm going to reach my front arm, this is my right arm, further than my left arm, getting a nice juicy twist in my back while I'm also getting some length and stretch through the hip flexors and the quads. So this is a great movement if you're about to do a lower body workout or if you've just done a tough lower body workout, because we're getting so many things at once. Good. And then I walk back to center. Find that glute stretch again and roll up. And the next piece, I'm going to lengthen up, twist a little bit to my left, and I'm going to drop my elbow down. But as my elbow's on the floor, I'm still lifting up under the ribs. So I have a lot of length in my spine, and I can think about pressing my hip forward and back, and again forward and back. So I'm mobilizing and creating space in the hip flexors. And then when you're ready, you can reach that arm over your head. This is going to continue up that front line into the psoas, and even you might even feel a little bit through the lats, which is just an extra bonus. Taking a deep breath in, reach the fingers long, and exhale, reach further. And then we'll walk ourselves all the way back around again to that glute stretch, because you can never stretch your glutes too much. And rolling up. And then I'll bring myself back to my windshield wipers and just reassess. Notice how that feels. All right, I feel a lot freer now on my right side. And then we'll do the whole thing on the other side. So on this side, I'm just going to flow through it and I'll quickly guide you through. So I've found my modified 90-90 sit, going into the first glute stretch, taking a deep breath in, lengthen the spine up to the sky, and tipping over with a long spine. Only go as far as it feels good, and rolling up. Again, deep breath in, lengthen over, and roll up. One more time, deep breath in, lengthen over. I'm going to stay here for a few breaths. Deep breath in to lengthen the spine. Exhale to go deeper into the stretch. Now I'm going to explore some new angles, walking myself towards my knee and walking myself towards my foot. And reaching a little further here because it feels oh so nice. And now I'm going to walk all the way around, chasing my tail. Only do this if you feel no pain in your low back. If you're feeling pain in your low back here, maybe that's not the stretch for you. Reaching that arm as far as I can, taking a deep breath in and out. In this stretch, I really like to think about expanding my rib cage as I inhale. So feel the ribs expand and exhale, let it go. And walk back around to center, rolling it up. And for the final piece, gentle twist. Go down onto the elbow, lengthen that arm up over your head. I can add some hip movements, bringing my hip forward and back. And be aware of your spine, be aware of your neck. Are you holding any unnecessary tension in your neck? If so, just let it go. One last deep breath in and out to walk all the way around and rolling up. And then finish with one more windshield wiper. Whew, that feels really different. Unlocked the hips, got my hips ready. Feels great. And that's all. Enjoy.